So we're standing outside of my backyard. While the lighting is still good, I want to try and catch everything while the lighting is still good before the sun goes down. So guys, the my backyard actually is huge, and it was one of the selling points. You know, when we were buying this house, the lot size of this entire property is about 1,200 square meters, and a majority of that is on the back and the front yard. So yeah, the backyard is actually one of my favorite places. During the summertime, we sit underneath that tree over there. We, you know, put a blanket and we have drinks, and sometimes when the pool is in a good condition, we do swim around here. So this is one of my favorite places out here, my backyard. It still needs a lot of love, I won't lie. It still needs a lot of love and a lot of attention, but I am actually planning to have a vegetable garden over there, and to just you know, introduce some greenery. And on that corner over there, I'm planning to have a pergola. So my backyard, although it's big, it still needs a lot of love because we were focusing on the inside of the house. So let me show you around the backyard, and then we'll go to the front yard, and then we'll go to the inside of the house. Oh, and my pool, you guys. My pool, my pool, my pool, my pool. Yeah. The pool has not been in use for about 2 years now. So you guys know that Joburg weather in the past 2 years has not been that good. So we have actually not been using the pool that much. So yeah, this is the backyard. This is the backyard. And what I also love about this backyard, guys, is that during the summertime, it receives a very, very, very good amount of sun. So I think eventually, once this backyard is nice and done and trimmed and the walls are painted, it is going to look fantastic. Let us go to the front yard. It's the front yard, and my little wannabe rose garden that I've shown before. But this is pretty much what the front yard looks like. The lawn is not giving, guys, because you guys know it's winter time. So this is what the front of the property looks like. As you can see, as much as the backyard is huge, the front yard is equally as huge. And I wanted to show you the garage side area, but this garage side area, guys, I can't really show it. It is undergoing some construction works, and there is some storage in there of a lot of things because the construction is on pause. And yes, this is the front yard area. Over there on the opposite side is the double garage that we recently just converted into a double garage. It was a cottage before. The double garage is not really in a position that I can show it because it's still under construction. The construction is on pause because we had some issues that require a lot of money. So the garage area is on pause, but I'm going to show you what the construction of the garage area looks like. It used to be a cottage area, and then we broke a wall to sort of extend the garage area to make it into a double garage. I'm gonna insert a video just now. Guys, this is my son's bedroom. This is my son's bedroom. And this is the family bathroom. This bathroom is not really in use. It's as you can see, it's the only room in the house that has not been renovated. Well, it's not the only room in the house, but it's one of the rooms in the house that have not yet been renovated. When we bought this house, I was quite surprised as to why a family bathroom would be this small. There is not even a space for a shower. So this room still needs a facelift. All right, moving on now, we're going to go to my daughter's bedroom. And this is my daughter's bedroom, the middle one. Rorisang. And this is what it looks like. One of the things that I regret earlier on was actually buying my girls single beds. I wish that I had actually, from the onset, bought my kids double beds and not single beds, because they are now growing and they are outgrowing the single bed. So here it is, my other daughter's bedroom, the firstborn, my 15-year-old, and this is her bedroom. And as you can see also, this is a single bed. So yeah, the rooms are, I think the bedrooms, the kids' bedrooms are a good size, and they can fit a double bed. But of all the bedrooms, my firstborn daughter's bedroom is actually the smallest, because the cupboard is not built into the wall like the other two rooms. So if we were to put a double bed over here, and then we put a pedestal, a bedside table over here, it's going to eat a lot of space, and I'm concerned about whether we would still be able to open the cupboards fully. So yeah, it's just one of those things that we will have to see, because they are getting older and the single beds are no longer doing it for them anymore. Man, just chill there. I didn't know you're not holding. Yeah. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Arifilwe Rabututu and I go by the Home Mom on here. So today I thought I should just film a little segment just showing you guys around my house, and just a little chit chat about why me and my husband actually decided to buy an older home and remodel it instead of a newer development kind of a home. So when we were shopping around for homes back in 2019, we shopped around quite a bit for a few homes until we found what we thought was the right house. We went for new development properties. We also went for newer kind of homes, and we were also looking at older homes. So what we wanted at the time, one of the biggest advantages that we wanted at the time, and why we decided on this particular home, was the space that the property provides. This house is a relatively big house for the size of our family. So as a family of 5, we wanted to ensure that each one of our kids had their own bedrooms. So the property came with 5 bedrooms, because it had 4 bedrooms. It has 4 bedrooms in the house, and then there's an additional bedroom on the outside area, which served at the time as a cottage. But what we're trying to do now, we're trying to convert it into a double garage area and a guest bedroom area. So that's the site that my helper occupies at this current moment. But once it's renovated, it will serve more like a guest bedroom area. So the positives, or one of the things that we were looking for in a home at the time, was number one, it had to be a big property because our kids were small at the time and they enjoyed playing. We wanted our kids to actually enjoy having a big space to play around outside, run around, and all of that jazz. And the second positive was the fact that it had bedrooms for each one of our kids. That was a big thing for us. We wanted our kids to enjoy their own space and their own comfort in their own bedrooms, and have the little luxury of being able to decorate their own spaces and have their own choices about what they wanted in their own bedrooms. The other thing that made us decide to buy an older 1980s home rather than a newer development is because we wanted a home that would allow us to sort of add our own touch and feel into the home. A lot of new development properties, you can do that, of course you can do that, but a lot of new development properties, the fixtures of the homes are more on the newer side. So there's not really much that you can do unless if you have a lot of money and you want to change everything. At the time, our budget did not really allow us for that. So we wanted a older property that we could, fixer upper property that we could turn into our own taste and our own style. And I think that this property allowed us to do that. Another reason why we decided to buy an older home, it is because of the fact that this property was in a very good location. It's located not far from our local supermarket. The supermarket is literally a walking distance from our house. It's close to other big supermarkets. It's located in a good area with good schools in the surrounding neighborhoods for our kids, because when you're buying a house, guys, you've got to think long term. You've got to think about the schools that you want your kids to go to from grade 1 up until grade 12. Are they good schools? Are they good performing schools and things like that? Is it a safe neighborhood? Our neighborhood, it's more of an older suburban neighborhood, but it is a relatively safe neighborhood. It's a good neighborhood with good roads, with good services. Okay. Well, it's only now recently that we're having issues with service delivery. I think that's the issue right now in all of South Africa. So we decided on the property because of the neighborhood as well, a good, solid, well-established neighborhood that is close to the freeways, close to other urban areas, close to bigger shopping complexes and schools and all of that. So that was another point that was important to us when we were buying the property. We learned when we got into this house and when we started doing the work and trying to change it, that there is a downside to buying an older home compared to buying a newer home. Well, the newer properties that we were looking into the complexes and gated communities, we thought that they were too small for the price point that they were selling for. They were way too small, and you guys already know that in gated communities, there's very little that you can do in terms of structural changes on a property, in terms of breaking down walls, in terms of trying to extend a home. There's a lot of red tape that you have to go through, to be able to make changes that involve breaking walls and other forms of things that you can do. And the rates as well, you've got to take that into account when you are buying into a freestanding home compared to buying in a gated newer development kind of a property. So for us, we felt that the positives of buying into a older neighborhood, well-established neighborhood, an older home compared to a newer, the positives on this side were outweighing the positives on this other side. Of course, the downside is the fact that security wise, you've got to pay for your own security. You've got to pay for your own alarm, ensure that your alarm is functioning 24/7. It's linked to a armed response. You know, whilst in gated communities, the security is it's included in your levies. There's not much of a push to have a security alarm in gated communities compared to freestanding homes because of obvious reasons. Gated communities are protected from the entrance. There's security at the entrance. With freestanding homes, you don't get that, so you've got to invest in your own security. And then so now I'm mentioning the downside. The other downside with buying an older home, because this home, guys, was built in 1980. You know, the buyer, when we chatted with him when we were buying the house, this property was built in 1980 and they moved into this property in 1981, and they have been staying in this property since 1981 until 2019, when we bought the property from them. So the downside about buying into an older home or an older property is obviously due to the fact that all the fixtures are outdated. All the fixtures were exceptionally outdated, so we had to bring our own touch into it. The other downside is due to the fact that, you know, the roof. Basically, when I say fixtures, I'm mentioning the interior fixtures. The roof. The roof was sound, but the roof still requires a lot of repair work and maintenance work, and we haven't even gotten to that part yet because we were focusing on the kitchen, the dining rooms, the living rooms, and the bedrooms, and then we're gonna move on to the outside, the roof, the painting of the walls, and things like that. So everything we are doing in bits and pieces. Okay, as the money comes, we one project at a time, basically. The other downside, I guess, about buying into buying an older home compared to a newer one was the one that I already mentioned. I think the security part. You've got to invest in your own security, not gated. You've got to invest in your own alarm systems, your own sensor beams on the outside that sense movement at nighttime when you are asleep. So my husband went in very, very hard in investing in all of that. We have a camera on the front, we have a camera at the back, because unfortunately communities like this, the older suburban communities, have a lot of break-ins. So that is the downside about it. But so far I have loved living in this home. I have loved the fact that the projects that we have done of trying to turn it into our own personal touch. I feel like it also brought us close as a family, especially between me and my husband, because each time we decide on a project, we have to sit down, we have to talk about it, we have to plan it out, we have to talk about the finances about it, we have to go out and source, the going out and sourcing of the project items, going to the hardware, going to the builder's warehouse, and all of that. I found that very, very, very enjoyable. Of course, there has been mistakes, guys. I have made a lot of mistakes when it came to remodeling of our home. I have made a lot of mistakes in the decisions of the fixtures. There are some things that when we bought them initially, some colors that at the time I liked, because I think also I didn't give myself enough time to decide exactly what I wanted. So one thing that I've learned about buying an older home and remodeling is that you've got to give yourself enough time to decide what you want and buy something once and buy it once and for all. I don't know how I can describe this in English, but don't buy something for your home for temporary or for solanka. Rather wait until you have enough money to buy a good quality item that you know that you're going to be happy with for the next 5 to 10 years. That's not going to require you to change again. You know, in the kitchen, when I look at the tiles on the kitchen now, I'm not quite sure that I like those tiles anymore, and I feel like I want to change them. At the time, what are you laughing at?
The kitchen tiles are nice.
My son is always behind the camera checking that everything I'm in focus. So sometimes he laughs when I talk. Come and say hi to the people.
Hi.
Why are you laughing?
Because the kitchen tiles are nice.
So you don't think I should change them?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. So some of the things now, when I look back, I think I made some hasty decisions. I don't like my kitchen tiles on the wall anymore. And I think that eventually I'll have them changed. And I don't think I like the kitchen island stove anymore. Because I don't have space. I don't have a worktop space. When I'm chopping vegetables and I'm cooking, the island doesn't have space on the sides for me to cut and all of that.
So you guys gonna get another one?
I think I'm gonna move the stove. I'm gonna move the stove from the center to the wall where the sink is, and then have where the stove is as a plain worktop area, so that I can be able to chop veggies and have a big space to work. Do you understand what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, those are some of the downsides of you know, an older home, because you for me personally, I don't think that I gave myself enough time to think things through, plan things through in my head properly, and think about, you know, the long-term effects of the work that I was doing. And sometimes, you know, when you have money with you, you want to spend it quickly and you want to do things quickly so that you have the end result, but you don't actually think about the long-term effects. Like another mistake that I mentioned as I was showing you the girls' bedrooms, all of them, as well, my son's bedroom is a double bed, the girls' bedrooms are single beds. And now when I think about it, I'm like, I should have invested in double beds from the onset. Yeah, because the girls are getting tall.
Yeah.
And, you know, of course, I'm going to, in the next year or so, I'm going to have to change those beds into double beds.
Yeah.
Like your bedroom.
Because I think little sister's going to outgrow her bed soon.
She's already growing it. She's already outgrowing it.
Yeah.
So we're going to need to get her a double bed soon.
Yeah.
So yes, guys, these are just some of the things that I wanted to share with you with regards to buying an older home compared to buying a newer development home. For me, it was definitely an upside. There were a lot of positives for me in deciding to buy for us, my husband and I, in deciding to buy an older home compared to buying a newer development home. I just felt that the newer development, in the price point that we were looking at for the size of our family, they were way too small, and I could see that in the long run I am going to get very irritated by the small space, and I will eventually want to sell and buy a bigger space. So I'm very happy with our home. I'm happy that we decided to buy this property, this size of property, and at the back and at the front we can still do a lot more. We can build another 2 rooms at the back if we want to. In the front side, there's space for, you know, when we have our friends over. I think in the front yard you can easily park 6 cars there. So there's enough space, and you know, I do, unless the Lord decides to bless us with something much bigger, I do see this house as our long-term home. So guys, I hope you have liked this segment, and I hope you have enjoyed the mini house tour. I will be showing the developments as we go along, because we are gonna do the bathroom later on in the year. The
That
kids,
one.
yeah, your bathroom, the bathroom that you guys are not using. We're gonna do the kids' bathroom. We're gonna do my helper's bathroom as well. Oh, I didn't mention, this house actually has 3 full bathrooms, you guys. It's our ensuite bathroom, it's the family bathroom, and then it's the bathroom that my helper is using. So it's got three bathrooms. So you guys can already see the selling points of this house. Should we decide to sell this house, it's gonna be you know,
So
it's
that you can
it's
upgrade
got- it's
to
got-
double story.
a double story.
Yes.
So the house has got a lot of selling points, you guys. It's got 3 bathrooms, it's got 5 bedrooms. So later on, and it's got a laundry room, you guys. I didn't show you the laundry room. I'll show that to you maybe later on as well, because it also requires a lot of work. The laundry room, that's where my washing machine is, and that's where the other freezer where we keep the extra meat is at. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. My son, you keep distracting me, boy. You keep I want to finish and you keep distracting me. So yes, I hope you have enjoyed the mini house tour. Please comment, please like, please subscribe to my channel, so that we can grow this family together. And yeah, tell me guys, what do you prefer? Do you prefer a older home that you can turn into your own touch and feel, or do you prefer a new development property that you don't really have to do much on? Because in fact, I forgot to mention this point, guys. I forgot to mention this part. When I look at the amount of work that we've done so far in this house and the cost and all of that, I do feel that should we have gotten a newer development home, we would not have spent as much money as we have spent now. So that's another down part that I did not mention earlier, that I wanted to mention. So yes, guys, thank you for watching. I think I've been speaking for way too long. Thank you for watching.
20 minutes.
Thank you for staying. Thank you for watching the ads. We are trying to grow this family. We're trying to build this brick by brick, layer by layer. So if this is the kind of content that you like, please do consider subscribing, and then let us grow this family together. I will see you on the next vlog. Mwah!